I go to your page and I'm like, I see, you know, you're fighting for Breonna Taylor for justice. You spoke up for George Floyd. You're telling people to social distance and wear their masks. And there are actors that are scared to do that. They don't want to do that.
Because they really feel that they're exempt from the struggle. You know, I be trying to get in debate. See, I don't argue with people, but I'm a facts-driven person. And what I say to them is, you know, no matter what suit you wear, no matter what credentials you got, no matter what economical status you get to, you know, because most of people, you know, they always throw up in our face when we do about the George Floyd, Taylor sitting there on the thing. Well, what about black on black crime?
Oh,
What about absentee fathers? And I tell them like this. I say, okay, for all your arguments, let's just say every brother that slept with a sister or whatever woman immediately became a father and a father in the home. Supposedly, hypothetically, no brother ever, black people don't kill each other no more, no black on black crime or nothing on that. Say all of that. All the things you say, it still ain't going, none of that matters when you run into that cop on the side of the road because he doesn't know if you're a good father or not, nor does he care. He doesn't care if you got a good job or not. He doesn't care. He doesn't know that none of those other factor when he comes with the authoritative position that he feels that you're not a human being and you're not entitled to the same rights of a person of a different pigmentation. So all those things that you just putting as side noise will not change institutional racism because they just don't feel that we deserve equality among them. There's certain people in this country of fear that this great country is going to change. And I understand it. I just want you to know it's like I'm metaphorically like a fine chick. Fine women get a lot of shit. Free drinks at the club, don't have to stand in line. They let them in. But suppose they was to be treated like women that was unattractive. They'd be mad at a motherfucker too. If they had to stand in line, had to pay for their own drinks and everything else, you don't hear no fine chicks arguing for equal rights for unattractive women because they love that privilege. They
right.
love men buying them, giving them roses and fixing their tie. They love the privilege that comes along with something that they ain't had shit to do with it. Their looks, which God gave them. And it's equivalent metaphorically, it's the same thing with a white man. You had nothing to do with your pigmentation. But
Yeah.
you refuse to recognize, based upon your pigmentation in this country, you have benefits that people that don't have your pigmentation don't. And you refuse to recognize it and agree with. That's all we want. We don't want what you got. We just want to let you know we want what we deserve. And this Constitution that you keep throwing in our faces from the founders said we supposed to have during birth. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. How can you do this if a man pulls me over and as soon as he come to my car, he got a gun out? And
Mm.
his excuse is, I couldn't see your hands. You don't do that to another person like that. You assume he's not a criminal. You assume I'm a criminal already. I'm not paying my tax money for this type of protect and serve. I'm sorry.
I know that's right. Do you ever have people confront you at your shows about some of the things that you say on stage?
Nah, I haven't.
I believe
I
you.
don't. I don't. Because I don't mine's what I don't do. I don't preach it in it and I keep it in the realm of a joke and I'm quicker. I hit it and keep on going. I don't elaborate on it and then I give it to you and I'm factual based. I don't when I get an observation, then I look into exactly what it is and then I hit them from that point on. And you can't argue it. If you're going to sit around here like I told this white dude who's a friend of mine, he said the problem I had, they keep bringing up slavery and what happened. That happened a long time ago. I say you keep bringing up 9/11. Every time 9/11 come in, we always have to remember the tragedy that happened to them 3,000 people. Now, when do you stop remembering that? When is it time? You never tell. When do you get to determine when a person stop mourning the death of their loved one or the inhumane of their loved one? That's very white of you to tell me I should get over that. You would never tell a rape victim, oh man, that was your grandmother that got raped. Let that go.
Right.
Let that go. Yeah, they hung her up and raped her, and 15 niggas did a gangbang on her and killed her. But you should let that go. We the only people don't get, or another race tell us when our mourning should stop. When it was enough for us, and it ain't, because it continue on. The residue of that mentality is still here, and you act like it was many lifetimes ago. I'm 57, man. I remember all this shit. Listening to my mother talking about, listening to my grandmother talking about, I feel their pain. So when
Right.
you sit here and tell me this, you know, you're telling me I should just forget all about what my grandmother went through. She told me about her mother and the rest of them, what your ancestor did to them, and say, ah, that's old, grandma. Fuck out of here.